Okay, so yesterday I did an event in downtown Fredericksburg called Art Attack, and it's an annual event, and normally I don't do events like that. My friends Jay at Blue Egg down in Miami and Raphael, who works with a group of people called Art Front Galleries. They do pop-up galleries and that kind of thing in New Jersey, and a couple of other people. They do the events, and I just try and paint. You know, I try and get the product developed so that they have product that they can sell. Excuse me. But yesterday, I just moved to Virginia, and this really wonderful guy, Gabe Pawn at Pawn Shop Gallery in downtown Fredericksburg, when I first visited, he had mentioned this event and said, you know, you might want to do this because you can meet people. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really do that, but okay. And I did it. I signed up early. I knew about it months before the move. I moved from Rhode Island to Virginia last Sunday. Got here about Monday, 1 o'clock in the morning. So officially Monday, I've been here a week. But I signed up. I booked myself for the event on Saturday. I moved Monday. I unpacked Tuesday, unpacked Wednesday, kind of crashed both days. Got a little bit further Thursday, got my studio set up Friday by 3 o'clock, or sort of set up. Started painting just a little bit, and then Saturday I went to this event. I was tired. I was exhausted. I did not feel well because of my RSD, but I did it anyway. And it really was a great thing. It has lifted my heart so high, because I was meeting other artists, and I was meeting people who really love art. I was meeting kids, I was meeting teenagers, but I was meeting people who value art, and they understand the value of art in our society. And it's not just a pretty decoration on the wall. That art propels our thinking as a society forward. It gets us thinking in new directions of development and, you know, just engineering new things and new cultures and just redeveloping our lives every day. That's what art does. It takes down the history of humanity and it propels humanity's not just tastes, but culture forward. So I got to talk to a lot of people yesterday who completely understand that, and they could articulate it, which isn't always important, but it was kind of fun to be around people who can articulate it and aren't just saying, that picture pretty, which is also good, you know, to have someone's attention and to get them to recognize what you do. But in all of it, I was thinking too, and hearing stories about, I was thinking about galleries, and I was hearing a lot of nightmare stories. And I've shared in my videos nightmare stories I've had. My work stolen. Twice on an international level. Once by someone I considered probably my best friend at the time. Contracts that have been violated. You know, I've talked about different stories, and people were reiterating their stories to me. I had one woman who owned a gallery at one point and then was working with a gallery at another point, and she was talking about a collector who had violated their word. So it's really got me thinking today about just different aspects of being an artist and how I've dealt with galleries. I've dealt with big galleries, little galleries. I've dealt with co-ops, which I will never do again, I don't think. Small town, big town, bigger. I've worked with people doing pop-ups. I've worked with people doing two-man shows. I've worked with my heroes. I've worked with people that I've just met. I've worked with people who I thought were unambitious, but were actually really ambitious and really working hard to develop their own art and their own vision and their own career. So yesterday was so exciting to me to be able to talk to different people who have different experiences as artists. And I found myself in the position many times of kind of giving people direction. Like, little like I do in these videos. But it was funny because I'm looking at people who I thought had 10 times more experience than me, and so I was saying, you know, you should have had a contract, you should have had a lawyer, telling them what I should have known 10 years ago, you know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago. And also saying to them, you don't know till you know. And that's something I've had to learn, is you don't know till you know. You just don't know. And part of making these videos is to tell people what I know, so you're not going through 10, 20 years of having your work stolen, or having confidence violated, or having contracts broken. That, you know, there are certain steps you have to make, or that you use a certain medium when you're doing oil painting that is just fantastic. You don't know till you know. I didn't know till somebody told me, or till this tragic thing happened. I think as artists, we're considered frivolous. Another thing I've said, what we do is considered frivolous. I do not consider it at any level, well, maybe at some levels, frivolous. But the act of creation helps to propel not only the one human that is creating, which I hate that word, it's so trite, but it helps to propel not only the one creator, again trite, but also the people around them. Helps to elevate them. Helps to get them thinking differently. You lift the people around you, you lift your community. But when you're doing that, like I do here, or like the artists I met yesterday, or any of the other hundreds or thousands of artists I've met on any level, the performers, the singers, the whatevers, who are in the arts, different levels of arts. When you do that, you also lay yourself out there as prey, because we are told, society is told, at least in the United States, every day, that's trite, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It's ridiculous. And it's not ridiculous. We're told right now, and this is one of several conversations I had yesterday, where this was brought up with technology. We should put our focus on technology. Technology is the future. Technology. Well, technology came from the devices we're using, and the way we now see technology in the future came out of creative individuals. And you need to have that in mind when someone looks at you like prey. A gallery, a gallerist, a buyer. The people around you who want your work but don't want to pay for it, or don't want to invest in it, or want to tell you what you're doing is nothing. If it is so much of a nothing, then why do you want it? If it is so much of a nothing, what artists do, who exactly designed that shirt you're wearing, your pants, your curtains, your shoes, your car, the coffee maker, the rugs? Who exactly decided what our homes would look like? I'm living in Virginia now with Monticello just 30 minutes away. I got to see the University of Virginia and almost peed myself the other day because we pulled up to this campus and the buildings that Jefferson designed to look like they were raising out of the ground. The knowledge was raising out of the ground. It's just rising like the sun. And it's because of designers, engineers, thinkers like Jefferson that we have the homes that we have. The architects who were influenced by him, the architects who influenced him. I have a lot of issues with Jefferson. But he was a man at a pivotal point in history who designed the American culture on so many levels. It is mind-boggling what he did. I really wanted to talk about untraditional ways of selling your work and contracts, but I think I'm going to save that for the next video. I think I'm going to use this as a way to bolster myself in the belief that what I'm doing is important. It is, on some level, extremely important. I know people watching this video are either creators themselves or are becoming creators or are interested in the arts and becoming more interested in the arts. So I want to feed that and say it is correct to show a passion, a knowledge, an interest, even an interest, a flickering interest in the arts. Because what we're seeing now is influencing our future. It's influencing the humanness of us all now and in the future. The ripples. The one painting I do today could ripple through to someone who's going to decide to develop something else. It's been influenced by it tomorrow, and then influences the next person, and influences the next person. And these are all developers. They're developer of human society, not just of high-tech devices, which again, we're being told is the most important thing we can learn to do. It's not. Learning to think creatively, think outside of what we're being told, I think is the single most important thing we can learn to do. We learn that through experience, through experiencing good and bad. A lot of bad sometimes. Great stuff can come out of a lot of bad. We learn it through school and education and seeing how people thought before us. We also learn through hardships. I'm very fortunate right now that I have everything provided for me. For the first time in a long time, I can take it easy. And it's giving me time to intellectualize and to paint and to think forward and to change what I was doing into something new and create. Just keep developing. So I think next time we'll talk about contracts and standard galleries a little bit more. But right now, stick with it. Stick with learning about art. Stick with learning about creativity. Stick with learning to be better at both or developing a passion in it. Let's take on this beautiful day. I know I have to. I'm sleepy, but I gotta paint something or I'm gonna lose my mind. Ciao.